History is not just a collection of dates and wars. History is the story of the human mind, its thoughts, and its weaknesses. When it comes to the most terrifying figures in human history, the first name that comes to mind is Adolf Hitler. Hitler, a man whose name evokes war, violence, and destruction. But today, we will not just recount his crimes. Today, we will understand how Hitler became what he did, how an ordinary child and a failed artist turned into the world's most dangerous dictator. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889, in a small border town of Braunau am Inn, Austria. His father, Adolf Hitler, was a government official, outwardly disciplined but extremely strict and temperamental at home. Young Adolf often faced his father's scolding and punishment. The home environment was filled with fear and tension. His mother, Clara Hitler, was loving and protective. For Adolf, his mother was his entire world. According to psychologists, when a child experiences extreme fear on one side and excessive attachment on the other, it can lead to problems with authority and ego. This is exactly what happened with Adolf. At school, Hitler was not an extraordinary student. He had no interest in mathematics or science, but there was one thing he considered himself good at: drawing and painting. He often sketched buildings, landscapes, and scenes. Teachers believed he had artistic talent. This is where Hitler began to define his identity. I am an artist. He decided that art would be his life and his identity. In 1907, Hitler applied to the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts. Full of confidence, he took the entrance exam, but the result came: rejection. The Academy said his drawings lacked an understanding of the human figure. Around this time, Hitler's mother died of cancer. Her death was the biggest emotional blow to him. He was completely alone. In 1908, Hitler applied again to the Art Academy, but again he was rejected. This was not just a rejection, it was a complete destruction of Hitler's ego and dreams. From here, a dangerous thought took root in his mind. I cannot be wrong. If I fail, the world is at fault. After rejection, Hitler wandered the streets of Vienna, sometimes in orphanages, sometimes in soup kitchens, sometimes at railway stations. He was alone, poor, and internally filled with anger and frustration. During this time, he began reading extremist political newspapers and listening to radical speeches. This is where his mindset of blaming others was born. He realized that when people are troubled, they need an enemy, and once an enemy is found, people stop questioning. In 1914, World War I began. Hitler went to Germany and joined the German army. For Hitler, the army was not just a job, it was a new birth. Here he found discipline, structure, and most importantly, a purpose. On the battlefield, Hitler was considered brave. He risked his life multiple times and was awarded medals. The army made him feel that he was part of something greater. In 1918, Germany lost the war. Hitler was in the hospital when he heard the news. This was not just a military defeat, it was a personal betrayal for him. The Treaty of Versailles was imposed on Germany. Heavy economic penalties, restrictions on the army, loss of territory, national humiliation. Germany's economy collapsed, unemployment soared, and people were enraged. Hitler said Germany did not lose the war. Germany was betrayed from within. In 1919, Hitler joined a small political party, the German Workers' Party. Later, this party became known as the Nazi Party. The party was small, but Hitler had a powerful weapon: his speeches. His speeches were full of emotion, anger, a named enemy, and false promises of hope. People felt that Hitler was speaking their thoughts. Gradually, the party grew, and Hitler became its leader. In 1923, Hitler attempted to overthrow the government, the beer hall putsch. The coup failed. Hitler was arrested and sent to prison. But prison was not punishment for Hitler. It was a training ground. Here, he wrote his book, Mein Kampf. In it, he outlined his ideology, racism, and plans for expansion. After leaving prison, Hitler realized that power does not come from guns, but from infiltrating the system. In 1929, the Great Depression struck. Germany's economy collapsed completely. People were desperate. Hitler promised jobs, respect, a strong Germany. In 1933, Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany. Within a short time, he consolidated all power in his hands. Media control, opposition eliminated, an atmosphere
atmosphere of fear. Germany slowly became a country ruled by one man. There were three main reasons behind Hitler's wars: revenge, retaliation for the Treaty of Versailles, Lebensraum, the desire for more land for Germany, racism, obsession with the pure Aryan race. In 1939, Germany invaded Poland. World War II began. Power blinded Hitler. He started wars on multiple fronts simultaneously. The invasion of Russia was his greatest mistake. The German army was broken. Destruction was everywhere. In 1945, Berlin fell. Hitler committed suicide. A man who once wanted to be an artist left behind only death and destruction. Hitler reminds us that when anger, hatred, and power come together in one hand, history is written in blood.